Welcome to this 13th video on using the free Managing My Money spreadsheet for zero-based budgeting and cash flow management. In previous videos, we talked about planning, tracking, financial control, and reporting. In this video, we'll talk about how to install and how to do version upgrades. Now, there's a distinction between the two. This video will go over the version upgrade process, which is a 5-step process. If you're doing a first-time installation, you can skip steps 1 and 5 and focus only on steps numbers 2, 3, and 4. Also, if you have not seen or don't have access to this free spreadsheet tool, you can click the link above for a different video which explains what the tool is and how you can get the download link. Importing is a 5-step process. The first step is to open the existing current workbook that you have before you get the new one and export the data to prepare for upgrade. So on the home sheet, you will simply press the export for upgrade button, and I'll give you a demo of that right now. So just on your existing sheet, navigate here. It has all of your data that you plan to upgrade to the new version, and click this export for upgrade button. It'll then ask you to put in a file name, so you can just put in a file name, for example, my data version, 3.4, whatever your version is, 3_2, whatever, hit OK. And it will then go through each of the sheets and it will export all the data into an XML file to prepare for upgrade. You'll need to remember the name of that file and where you put it, because after you get the new version, you're going to have to select that file to import that data into the new version. So as soon as this is done, it will give a success error message saying that all of your data has been exported. I'll give it 1 second here while it finishes writing out the data. And there we go, configuration export complete. Okay, so that was the step 1. That was in your current workbook version. Step number 2 is to go ahead and download the new version. So you will have received a link from mmm.expenseplanning@gmail.com that has a link for download. It will have 3 files, a zip file, a release notes PDF file, and an installations instructions PDF file. By the way, the installation instructions PDF file has similar content to what I'm presenting in this video. Okay, step 3 is, now that you have downloaded that zip file, you will need to extract the zip file. So inside the installation instructions.pdf file, it provides a password that you need to use to extract the 3 files. So there's actually 4 files from the zip file. So what you'll need to do is to extract these into a new folder that you will create. So as I mentioned in blue here, each new version you have needs to be stored in its own folder. So let's say the current version you're on is version 3.7.1. You should have a folder somewhere under your My Documents or wherever you keep your folder that called MMMV3_7.1. The name of the folder doesn't really matter so much as the fact that it's a unique name. And the reason is that has all the sheet and the DLLs for your current version. When you extract this zip file with the new version, you need to create a new folder, MMMV4_00. Again, the name of the folder doesn't really matter as long as it's a unique folder name. It's different from where you have your current sheet. And in that new folder, you will extract all these 4 files into that folder. Okay, and by the way, if you have a license file, a registration file, it's a .archi file, you can just grab it from the existing folder and copy it also into the new folder, because that license file or registration file is valid in any folder for any version. Okay, step number 4 is to unblock the new version. So Microsoft has a protection that they just implemented now in 2022, in the second half of 2022, where they protect people from files that are downloaded off the internet that have macros that might, unknowing to you, they're downloaded and then they kick off and run. So anything that's downloaded from the internet, they are automatically marked as blocked. So if you know what the file is, if you've downloaded it and there's a reason you've downloaded it, you can tell Microsoft that I know what this is. I'm going to allow it to enable the macros inside of it. The way you'll do it is you'll navigate to the managing my money.xslm file in the folder that you downloaded it to. You'll right click on the file, hit properties, and then on the bottom you'll see a read only box and an unblock box. What you'll need to do is to uncheck the read only box and to check the unblock box and then hit apply. And I will see if I have a way to show you that in a second. I have downloaded the zip file from the download site, and it's pushed the zip file into my downloads folder. When I open that zip file from the downloads folder, you'll see on the top of my Windows Explorer, it'll show this extract all. I can either create a folder and then just drag these in, or I can say extract all and pick a folder to put them into. And see, it gives me an option on where I want to put it. So I'm just going to go ahead. I've already created the folder. So I'm just going to put in C local files / demo. And I'm going to, that's the folder that I'm going to extract it to. And I'm going to say show them when it's complete. It'll open that folder for me. I'll say extract. Now it's asking me for the password. This is the password that I will get from the installation instructions PDF. And there it goes. So it is extracting these four files into the folder that I specified. When it is done, it will open up the folder. And what you'll see here is that that I need to select the XSLM file, right click on it and say properties. And it's going to open up this properties pane, and you're going to see this read-only checkbox and this unblock checkbox. I'll uncheck the read-only and I'll click to check the unblock. I'll hit apply and then I'll hit OK. And that is all I need to do. Okay, so step 5 is now to import the XML file. So you import the XML file very similar to the way you exported it. In this case, what you'll do is you'll close the old sheet, you'll open the new sheet, and you will on the home screen, right at the same place where you saw the export button, you'll now see a button called upgrade to version x.xx, whatever the new version is. Press that button. It will ask you to create a new password for the sheet. It can be the same password as in the old sheet, just create it brand new. Then it'll ask you to browse for and select the XML file that was exported in step 1. You click that and it will import the data, and when it's done, all your data is now in the new version of the worksheet and you have successfully upgraded. Now, a couple of comments. Upgrading with custom sheets. If you have used sheets 1, 2, and 3 at the end of the workbook, they're all custom. They allow you to put in your own pivot tables, charts, etc. The upgrade process will not transfer any customizations that you made to those sheets. So any tables, trends, charts, pivots, after the upgrade, you'll need to manually copy over any customizations and recreate them in the new workbook. Another comment is on upgrading those who have Tiller money data feeds. So the short version is the first bullet. All Tiller transaction balances are transferred with the export import process we just did. So it'll look to Tiller like all the data is already there. However, if you want to continue to pull the data from Tiller into the new sheet without relinking, so without Tiller saying, hey, this is a new sheet, you need to relink it. I think you have 5 sheets that you can link. If you want it to think that this is the same sheet as it was before and just resume pulling data as if it were the same sheet, then you need to follow the 7 steps given below. You open the new Excel workbook. Well, first of all, you give the new Excel workbook the same name as the previous one, so Tiller will recognize it as the same workbook. But there's one other thing. You need to open the old workbook and navigate to the Tiller.runtime metadata sheet. That's a sheet that identifies to Tiller that is the sheet. It understands not just the name, it uses the name and the data in that Tiller.runtime metadata If those match, it then thinks that it's the same sheet. So what you need to do is you need to copy the data from there and paste it into the new workbook in the same place. So now, if you don't want to, if you're okay with relinking it as a new sheet and letting Tiller Money realize, hey, this is a brand new sheet, you don't need to do any of these steps on this screen. You can just go ahead and relink it. Now, some people worry that when you relink a sheet, it tries to download all of the transactions, and people are worried that you might get duplicates. But you don't need to worry about that because the sheet already has built-in protection for that. As long as you have not removed the track imported column in the Tiller transactions sheet, then what happens is when you do your data import from Tiller, it will import all the data, but then it will identify all the ones that have previously been imported and remove them as duplicates. So in essence, either if you go trying to have it without relinking or with relinking, either way, you can continue to pull data from Tiller Money without worrying about any duplicates. Okay, now just so you can see where the Tiller runtime metadata is, let me just show. Okay, so what I'm saying here is if you go uh, to the import screen and you click the Tiller as the money as the data source and you click view balance history, it will open up a sheet called Tiller runtime metadata at the very end. After sheet 1, 2, and 3, you'll see it here at the bottom. And what you'll need to do is to copy any data that's here. If you've imported from Tiller, this will be filled in. You simply copy the data from here, and then you open the new sheet, navigate to the same Tiller runtime metadata sheet by clicking on import and then clicking on view balance history, and then click runtime metadata sheet, and then just paste it in here. And then you save. Then the next time you go to import data from Tiller, it will think it is the same sheet as before. And that is all there is to say about upgrading. So there's a link here that you can click on that will take you to another video which provides a description of the tool and provides a mechanism, a path which you can get the download link and start using it for yourself. Thank you very much. Have a great day.